if you can start loving yourself and you can stop needing validation from others, which is the biggest trap most of us fall in, and we'll fall into it time and time again. It's a learning, it's a journey. But if we can really live in that space of a higher consciousness vibration instead of a low consciousness vibration, we'll start attracting better people. And this comes from the abundance and scarcity frame. What are you living in right now? Are you living scarcity or abundance? This is my most passionate subject. Abundance versus scarcity, because I know your high-paying clients are on the other end of changing you. Everyone wants the strategy. I just want the strategy. If I get the strategy, sales will come in. If I get the strategy, I can do it. You don't need the strategy. Strategy is a little bit. And so many people that are even struggling are good on the phone. They don't need the strategy. They just need to do internal work. They need to start owning themselves internally and focusing on what they really want for their life. It's getting clear on a vision. Like we did the retreat. The people that didn't go on the retreat, we got clear on a vision. And we did a massive workout at the retreat. We installed it in our subconscious. We felt good. And then they got home and you're like this. I didn't look at it again. You can't have a good workout at the gym, a massive workout. I'm sore the next day, but I'm feeling good. I feel amazing because I just broke through. And then I haven't done anything for 3 weeks. Too bad I'm fat. I'm fat. I am fat because I just focused on it one time. I wasn't consistent. How many of you are seeing what you want every single day, every morning? Focusing on it like it's already happened. See behind me on the wall. These are all the places that I want to go to in the next year. In the next year. Specific. I mightn't reach it, but I'm seeing it every day. I've already been there. I've already been to Dubai. I've already been to India. I've already been to Thailand where we're going for the retreat at the end of the year. I've been there already in my mind. And if I see it every single day and every morning, I'm super excited about my vision. And I see so many people get caught up in this. How many people in this group, I always ask them all the time, when they're struggling, I always say, what's your vision? Where are you going to be in a year? And they're like, I don't know. It's not my focus. My focus is on this week. If your focus is on this week, you're not going to last in this game because it's a long-term journey. You're not going to die next week. People think they're going to die. Oh, I've got to get it now. I need money. You don't need money. You need love. You need love for yourself. That's what you need. Because once you can start loving yourself, things will flow. It's like going into nature. You go into nature and, everything's flowing. It's abundant. I went into nature the other day. I went to Merri Creek, just a little bit out of Melbourne. It's like a little bit of nature. You go out in Melbourne, I realized I kind of went out there. I'm like, whoa, this is pretty cool. All these trees, look at the river flowing like I always talk about. But the cool thing is, like I said to a client, one of you guys before, and what I said was, you're like a tree. And they said, and you're like, what do you mean I'm a tree? Because a tree's abundant. It doesn't force its way up. It just flows its way up. It's nature. It grows and expands. And you got to realize that there's going to be storms in your life. There's going to be storms that come through nature, but a tree doesn't stand there worrying it's going to get blown down. It just deals with whatever happens and looks for the brighter side. And guess what? The tree mostly stands there. Some break. Some people break. Just like a tree. A tree can break sometimes in a storm. How many people have broken down? I've broken down in a storm before. But what happens when you break down? The tree half snaps, it still grows. You might have to take a couple of steps back, but you can still grow, and you come from that place. Because you're just like a tree, and realize when a storm comes, the strongest trees grow in the strongest winds. Not the best soil. In the strongest winds, that's when you grow the most. So if you're going through a dark time right now, and you're struggling, or things are happening, and you're in a big wind, and you're stressed, I want you guys to really realize right now that that's the most exciting time. Someone said to me the other week, I'm feeling a bit depressed. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling lonely, whatever it was. And a few people told me that last week. And what I said to one of them was, awesome. What do you mean awesome? How's this awesome? Because you're going to grow the most. You don't grow the most when you want to do it. You don't grow the most when everything's flowing. You don't grow the most. It takes courage to get yourself out of those negative emotions. And negative emotions aren't bad. We just haven't been taught what they are. Like I said at the start of this whole conversation, anxiety is the emotion of growth. You don't resist your emotions. I've resisted them before. I still get caught up in it sometimes. Sometimes I feel sad. Sometimes I feel like I can't do it sometimes. Sometimes I feel like that, just like everyone does. But it takes courage to say, I'm not going to live like this, and I'm aware of it. I see that brighter future, and I'm going for it. I might be dark now, but this is going to be a story I'm going to tell every single person once I'm there. So I'm going to enjoy it. What if you could enjoy your negative emotions? Would they be negative? Would they really be negative if you could enjoy them? So I want you to realize that you're a tree. And as soon as we jump in that river, like I always talk about, you can flow with the current and realize everything around you is abundant. Because if you're attaching abundance just to money, you are fucked yourself over. If that's all you've got money to is, I need money because it's abundance, what's the worst case scenario what's going to happen if you lose money? Straight away, I might have to get a job. So you're not going to die? What? You're not going to die. You're not going to be homeless. You're not going to be like this. We're in Australia, or some of us in America, whatever it is. But the worst case scenario usually doesn't happen. But we make it up in our heads and we don't challenge it. But it's like I'm stuck in my to-me mentality. Life happens to me. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. And sometimes I can go into me. How many people go into to-me? To-me is a victim. And sometimes when you're stuck in that to-me, it's hard to get out. That's why it's important to have coaches, to people that can lift you out of those states. And everyone here is a coach. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be people and clients that are going to be going through every single thing that maybe you've dealt with in this course. So have some compassion. Have some complete compassion for every single person and realize whatever struggle you're going through, usually whatever's happening, you'll go through that struggle. And because you've went through that struggle, you can teach someone else how to get out of it. That's the gift that you get out of it. So usually if you're going through a rough time, it's all win. It's all uphill from there. You can't get any worse. But if you focus on what you could do instead of what you can't do, you move forward. So I want to ask you guys a question right now. How many of you are attaching abundance to your life, to the amount of water that you drink? I get to walk outside and realize I don't have to worry there's going to be air there. Oh my God, I'm abundant. I have an abundance amount. I have kids there. Oh my God, I love my life. I love me. I look at myself in the mirror. Life's a gift. Life is a gift. What are you abundant for? Have you been living in abundance or scarcity? And be completely honest with me right now. Because the only way we can break through this right now is if you be honest. Have you been living in abundance or have you been living in scarcity? I want you to be honest. And the majority of the time, because sometimes we can go into abundance, sometimes we can go in scarcity. But what's the dominant thing that's happening in your life right now? Abundance or scarcity?